Once again, it's time for our weekly visit with Martin Kidston, the founding editor of the Missoula Current. And Martin, let's get right into a revenue stream that Missoula County is losing and is going to have to find a way to make that up. Tell us all about that.
Yeah, that's kind of been the talk of the city and the county now for ever since the legislature convened earlier this year. During that time, the legislature, of course, revoked the local option fuel tax, and the governor signed that bill, and the county no longer has access to the 2 cent per gallon fuel tax it had decided to use towards road construction and maintenance.
And so this is money that they had kind of planned on, they had it budgeted, and then all of a sudden it's not there. Is that how that looks to you?
Yeah, exactly. You know, this goes back to last year. Both the city and the county and the business lobby here in Missoula really worked hard to get that measure passed. Voters in Missoula County adopted the 2 cent per gallon fuel tax last June by a 51 to 49% margin. So it was a close vote, but the majority decided they wanted that tax. The county and advocates said that tax would kind of tap into the tourist stream, which is something that Missoula doesn't currently do or cannot do by law. So that 2 cent per gallon tax was a way to kind of get a few pennies out of the pockets of the tourists who come visit Missoula, but that's no longer available. So the county and the city are now saying that the bulk of, well, the entirety of the area's road maintenance and prevention work is going to fall entirely on property owners, just like everything else.
And so this means maybe more potholes, more things that don't get fixed around the county. Is that correct?
Well, that's probably one way to look at it. The city and the county, the city has said it has as much as $7 million in deferred maintenance, and the county has estimated that it has a similar amount, around $4 or $5 million in deferred maintenance. And the 2 cent per gallon gas tax was estimated to bring in $1.1 million, which would have been split 50-50 between the city and the county. So each organization would have roughly had an additional $500,000 to direct towards road work. So when you're looking at a deferred maintenance backlog that's in the millions, even $500,000 annually, it wasn't a lot of money, but it was money that was sorely needed. At least that's what they say.
And what was the legislature's reasoning behind this? Why did they take this option away from cities and counties like Missoula County?
Well, it's kind of strange because the legislature in 1979 actually said that they wanted this option available to cities and counties. So the 1979 legislature adopted this 2 cent per gallon fuel tax and left it up to local counties across Montana to adopt it. Ever since then, no county had ever adopted it until last year when Missoula County voters adopted it. Strangely, just at that point in time, the legislature decided to take that option away right as Missoula County adopted the local 2 cent gallon local option fuel tax. So it's kind of strange timing. And of course, the opponents of that fuel tax say it's just another sales tax, which they clearly have been against ever since. They're saying that it falls on the shoulders of the poorest people, those who can least afford 2 cents per gallon to fill up their cars. So that was kind of the reasoning. I feel kind of watching the process said that it was a little bit more of not wanting Missoula to maybe advance beyond the other counties, maybe not have better roads than the other counties. They kind of seemed a little more slightful than the argument that was given during legislature.
So maybe Missoula County was targeted. Is that kind of what you're looking at there?
Well, I think that's what the city and county contend, and some of the other advocates, including the Montana Contractors Association, they were in favor of this, and they feel maybe perhaps that by Missoula County going first, that given that Missoula County's views don't necessarily align with the current legislature and current administration, that they targeted Missoula specifically to kind of poke them in the eye. That's the word in the halls of the city and county.
All right, well, we'll leave it at that with the last word. Martin, thanks again for being with us this week. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks a lot.